Hello, students. Today we are going to start our next chapter, measurement and motion. In this chapter, we will study about the physical quantities, about the measurement, about the standard units, and the need for the accurate measurement, measurement of length, importance of estimation, about the motion, about the transport, types of motion, and different motion at the same time. We often come across questions like how long is the cricket pitch? How much sugar did you buy? How much milk is there at home? And how long ago did you return from school? To give an accurate reply to these questions, you need a measure for length, mass, volume, and time period. Sometimes you can make a guess without measuring, but your guess may turn out to be wrong. In our daily life, we make measurements all the time. A shopkeeper measures the amount of sugar he sells you. A person at a petrol pump measures the volume of petrol he fills in your car. And a doctor measures your body temperature when you are ill. In school, time is measured so that each period begins on time. Thus, measurements are important in our daily life. When we think of different things we measure in our daily life, you measure the length of a line segment, the time during the day, the weight of the vegetables or fruits bought from a vegetable seller, the temperature during the day to see how hot or cold it is, the speed of the car you are traveling in, etc. Quantities like length, weight, or mass, time, temperature, and speed that can be measured are known as the physical quantities. Long ago, people used the footsteps, the handspan, or the arm to measure length. But these units of measurement are unreliable because they vary from person to person. There was a need for units of measurement which could be uniformly used by everyone. Such a unit is known as standard unit. We must have measured the length of a line segment using a scale, and we find that the length of the line segment is 10 centimeters. We notice that the measurement consists of two parts, a number and the name of the unit of measurement. The number is 10, the unit is centimeter. The unit centimeter is a standard length that is known to us. So when you measure length, you compare the unknown length with this known length. 10 centimeters means that the length you have measured is 10 times as much as the known unit. Similarly, if the length of your table is 2 meters, it is 2 times as much as the known unit, the meter. If your mass is 35 kilogram, it is 35 times as much as the known unit, the kilogram. So we can therefore say that measurement is the comparison of the unknown quantity with some fixed quantity of the same kind. Till a few years ago, different countries had their own units of measurement. This was very confusing. In the year 1960, the General Conference of Weights and Measures recommended that a common system should be used all over the world. This system was called the SI system. SI is the abbreviation of System International d'Unites in French. In this system, the standard units of length, mass, and time are the standard unit of length is meter, and the standard unit of mass is kilogram. The standard unit of time is second. The SI system is used uniformly all over the world for all the scientific work. However, in everyday measurements, other systems are still in use, such as the FPS system like foot, pound, and seconds. The CGS system, in which centimeter for the length, gram for the mass, and second for the time, and the MKS system, which uses the same standard units for the length, mass, and time as the SI system. In SI system, the temperature is measured in Kelvin and volume in cubic meter. Now by using a meter scale or measuring tape, you will find that your room will perhaps be about 3 meter in length, while the length of your table would be about 1 meter. Measuring the length of a room or length of a table in meter is convenient, but the distance between Kolkata and Mumbai is about near about it is 2 lakh meter. Do you think it is convenient to measure such large distance in meters? The thickness of a coin is about 0.0015 meter, and it is not convenient to measure such small quantities in meters. Making calculations with very large or very small numbers becomes very difficult and therefore impractical also. So, for convenience, multiples of standard units are used to make large measurement. Fractions or submultiples of standard units are used to make the small measurements. Like we use prefix deci and its abbreviation is D. Its submultiple is 1 by 10 and it can be written as 0.1. The centi has the abbreviation C and submultiple is 1 by 100 and it can be written as 0.01. And the prefix milli is written as m, small m, and the submultiple is 1 by 1000, 0.001. And the prefix kilo is written as k and its multiple is 1000, 10 raised to power 3. And the mega is written as m and its multiple is 10 raised to power 6. Okay, so these are some prefix which we used in the SI units. The multiples and submultiple of standard units. We can say that the distance between Kolkata and Mumbai is about 2000 kilometer. The thickness of the coin is about 1.5 mm. So we can note these numbers and we can note numbers are easier to write and to use in calculations than numbers we we call in the millions or in point. meters. So symbols are not followed by a full stop. Symbols are not written in the plural. For example, we write 1 kilogram like 1 kg as well as 10 kg, not 10 kgs. So these are two rules to follow in writing the symbols of units. A tailor measures length of cloth. A vegetable sellers measure mass of vegetables. The milkman measures volume of milk. An architect measures the area of a plot or land before making a plan for construction. So when you have fever, you measure the temperature of your body. We need to measure things all the time. All these measurements must be made accurately using the standard units. If a tailor doesn't make accurate measurement, what will happen? In your school, if the time for ringing the school bell is not measured accurately, you will be disappointed. So, in scientific work, even greater accuracy is needed. Scientists therefore keep improving the methods of making measurements. Different instruments are used to measure different quantities. A meter scale is used to measure the length of a piece of cloth. A weighing scale is used to measure the mass of vegetables, and a clock is used to measure the time. But it would be very difficult to measure the circumference of a tree using a meter scale. For this, a measuring tape has to be used. Similarly, ordinary weighing scale is used by a vegetable vendor cannot be used to measure the mass of a flower petal. For this, you need a physical balance. An ordinary watch cannot accurately measure the time taken by you to run a 100-meter race. So you need a stopwatch. Therefore, in order to make accurate measurements, you must use appropriate instruments, and you should know how to use these instruments properly. Width, depth, thickness, distance, and height all are all measurements of length. Rulers, meter scales, and measuring tapes are some instruments commonly used to measure length. To measure the length of a line segment, a ruler can be used. The ruler is placed along the line with its 0 point coinciding with the point started the line. The reading on the ruler at the end of the line is the is the correct length of that line. We should follow some rules, or we should take some precautions while measuring the length, like keep the ruler exactly along the length to be measured. The measured length of the pencil will not be correct if the ruler will not be correctly placed. Do not use one odd portion of the instrument. Very often, the markings at the ends of the ruler get erased due to the overuse. In this case, use any other full mark on the ruler instead of zero mark. Keep your eye vertically above the point where the measurement is to be taken. We should not uh, note the reading from the side of the ruler. Measuring the length of a curved line. A thread or a divider can be used to measure the length of a covered line. We can use a thread or a divider to find the length of a curved line. When we use a thread, make a knot at one end of the thread and place the knot at the beginning of the line. In figure, we can say that at point A and press it with your forefinger. Now place a small portion of the thread exactly along the line. Press the other end of this portion with your other hand at the point B. The thread between your two fingers now has the same length as the portion AB of the line. Now place the first finger at point B. Again place a small portion of the thread along the next portion of the line. In this way, trace the entire length of the curved line using the thread. Mark the thread where it touches the end of the line. Now stretch out the thread on a meter scale and measure its marked portion. The length of this portion is the length of the curved line. By using a divider, we can measure the length of a curved line. First, open out the divider so that its legs are small distance apart. Place one of the legs at one end of the line and now put other leg on the line. Take the divider along the line and count the number of steps in which it covers the entire length of the line. If some portion less than the distance between the two legs is left out, measure it separately by adjusting the distance between the legs. Now the length of the curved line is obtained by the total length is equals to the number of steps multiplied by the distance between legs of divider. So this is how we can measure the length of a curved line by using a thread or by using a divider. While conducting an experiment, a scientist has to measure quantities with great accuracy, like to add 5 grams of a certain chemical substance to 10 ml of water. The scientist will use appropriate instruments to accurately measure the weight of the substance and the volume of water. But if the same scientist has to add 5 grams of salt to curry she is cooking in the kitchen, she will not measure the weight of the salt accurately. She will estimate how much salt would weigh approximately 5 grams and add it to the curry. If by mistake she adds 5.2 grams of chemical substance instead of 5 grams in the experiment, she may get wrong results. But if she actually adds 5.2 grams of salt to the curry, it will make no difference to the taste of the curry. We therefore see that accurate measurements are not always necessary. It is often sufficient to estimate the measurement. The skill of estimation is very important in daily life as well as in the laboratory. It develops with practice and experience. If the estimation skill of a person are not well developed, he or she may add 10 grams of salt instead of the required 5 grams to the vegetable that being cooked and spoil the taste. So the ability to correctly estimate length, area, volume, mass, temperature, time, etc. saves us the trouble of making actual measurement. A cook who can make correct estimations in the kitchen will cook better dishes than the one whose estimation skills are not well developed. So, it is about the importance of estimation. Thank you.